Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today we're going to be talking about the fourth player to sign from the USFL to the NFL. This time it is in a former Stallion in defensive tackle Doug Costin. This is another one of those players who you didn't really hear a lot about due to the fact that he was injured, he didn't sign in the beginning, he basically signed at like week 5 and then he played from there. Doug Costin overall is one of those players who gets his shot out of the Steelers. As I mentioned, I believe in the video yesterday, which I recorded that. I made the whole video before, the news that he got signed is, so that's why this video is out when it is. I said the Steelers were working out like 5 defensive linemen because one of theirs retired. Well, Doug Costin was the lucky guy who was chosen to fill out their 90-man overall squad. So, like usual, we're going to look at him, see what his stats are, how good he was going to the Steelers, what are his chances of being on the legit roster, and how far can he go. Well, to put it bluntly, as for the Stallions' time, he wasn't at all memorable. He was kind of there, and that's pretty much it. During his time, with the Stallions, he only played in 4 games. He had 9 tackles, 1 TFL, and then half a sack. That's really it. So, what else is there really to say about him? Well, in terms of, college and stuff like that, he was a player, but, in terms of the big deal is that he has played in the NFL. That's, to put it simply, why it's such a big deal. To put it simply, for these players going into here, what only matters for the NFL teams at this point isn't what you did in college, it's what you did recently. His ability to, play in the USFL got him another shot, but really, his actual use in the NFL, I think, is what made him go over the edge over the other guys that they tried out. In 2020, he was an undrafted free agent for Jacksonville, and he actually started 9 games. Not played, he started 9 games. He had a fumble recovery, 2 pass defenses, 32 total tackles, with 12 being solo, a QB hit, and 3 TFLs. And then, as for the second season, that's where things went awry. He only played in 1 game, he had 1 tackle, then he was pretty much let go, he was on the Bengals practice squad for a second, and, well, that was it. So, in second year, not so good. But he did play 1 year legitimately. That experience is a big deal, and this is why. The Pittsburgh Steelers depth chart for him is tough because they run a 3-4 defense. That means they only have 2 guys who really come off the edge, as they have 1 nose tackle who is really the only D tackle on there. And yeah, they do the thing of having TJ Watt come off the edge, but in legitimately just the true defensive tackle sense, they have 4 guys ahead of him. The first guy will not be overtaken. Tyson Alualu is someone who you might not have heard of, but he was a first-round pick. He was a 10th overall pick back in 2010. He's pretty much played only for Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. He's been a solid, legit starting defensive tackle. Nothing insane, but he's not someone that's a liability. He only played a couple games last year, but with him, being fully healthy and stuff like that, he definitely will be their legit full-time starting, probably. And then you have their backup, Montravius Adams. I don't think Costin has a chance of taking him over, either. He was a third-round pick back in that, great 2017 draft class. After a questionable year at the Packers, he ended up becoming an okay guy, but then with the Saints last year, he wasn't as good as they wanted. He got released, the practice squad, and Pittsburgh signed him. And then he was solid, not great. He had a few tackles, but overall he wasn't insane. But it feels like he definitely has a really good shot. There's a reason why they re-signed him. So I feel like he's going to stay ahead. Now, as for the 2 that I think that Doug Costin could potentially overtake, is, first of all, Henry Mondo. He is a second-year player. Going into his 3rd year. He is an undrafted free agent for the Steelers back in 2020. So same year as Costin. As for him, he has been a backup. He's been able to play in 15 games last year, but he only got 16 total tackles because of how he played. But he did have 2 sacks. So he definitely has some good characteristics. He's already caused a strip fumble. So, I feel like there's a legit shot that he could stay ahead, and I think that the Steelers might, because, if you have a guy that you literally got out of nowhere, and then you make him into someone good, that's pretty cool, an undrafted free agent. So, I feel like he's definitely going to stay there, but I guess we'll have to see for sure, you know what I mean? Kind of that deal. But then we get into the last guy, and that's Khalil Davis. Khalil Davis is a 6th-round pick from Tampa back in 2020. He played 2020, 2 games, he had 2 tackles, and that was it. So, and he didn't even play last year. So I feel like Costin's a very good shot at overtaking Khalil Davis just because of the recently playing, the fact that he, actually had a legit season his rookie year. And I feel like he has a good shot at that. Overall, that's what I think about Doug Costin. I really do think he has a decent shot at actually making it onto the roster. I think he has a better shot than the combo of Neal and Stribling, where I only think one of them might. I think that he has a solid chance to go ahead of those, bottom two. Maybe he'll get ahead of Montrevious, but I don't think so. But overall, we'll see. I know there's another guy that got signed, and that video will probably be out tomorrow or the day after. And we'll be seeing more and more people getting signed. I know Darius Victor just had a workout and stuff like that. So we'll just have to wait and see. This has been ZomFox. If you enjoyed this content, one of my five as soon as I upload a new video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, have a great night.